So my wife says, get on with the show. All right, get on with the show. Knock you out, but I'll get on with the show. All right. How you doing, everybody? Mr. P here. Mr. Poseidon. Welcome to this week's episode of Let's Talk Fishing. We got a great show lined up today. We got, as a guest, we got Nick Honachefsky on. Big-time fisherman in Jersey. I don't know if you guys know him. He's working his legend status there very nicely, but he also does fish worldwide. And speaking with him and having a little conversation, we'll be talking about grease later, too. That's right. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Also, I'm going to have Tom Hood. That's the Yak Angler. Great guy. He's going to be calling in. Tom Hood. When he calls in, we'll put him on, give him a 5-minute job. That's right, 5 minutes. And find out what's going on over there. Other than that, any calls coming in, honey?
No, I have the phone right here.
Okay,
so
great. Yeah.
He wants to call in now.
But it's upside down where you have it in front of you. You can't see the phone. What do you mean? You have the phone here in front of you. This is the married life, ladies and gentlemen. If you can't hack this shit, don't do it. Don't get married. It's a beautiful thing. Other than that...
How many buttons of music do you have on?
I got like 5 on.
What's going on? Okay.
Oh, that's my phone. That you... See, this is what I mean. I got your phone. Okay, I got your phone.
Hold
All right,
on.
let's
You want to turn him on? You want to turn on the roadcaster?
Yes, honey, just give me a second.
Hold on.
1 second. All right. See if we got him on. Tom?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
1 sec.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
here.
here.
Go.
Yeah, he's there now. Tom, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's happening, Mr. P?
Great. We got a great show tonight. We got Nick Honachefsky on. Big-time angler down in Jersey and worldwide also. We're going to learn a lot of things today. But I did speak to you earlier. I heard you got your personal best this week. Honey, you want to show everybody those pictures instead of putting on your goddamn makeup here in the middle of the show? Jesus
Give
Christ.
a hell, Mr. P.
Let me tell you something, man. This isn't easy life. Now you're doing this, and we're talking to Tom.
Is this
All
for
right.
Tom? Okay.
Yeah, that's Tom. That's Tom. Yes, that's Tom.
Let's see. All right.
Yeah, Tom. So what's been going on, man? I heard you had a few good weeks down in Massachusetts, there, the area you're fishing in. What's up?
Yeah, not too bad. I got a few fish here and there the last couple of weeks. They started out sub 40, and they've been climbing ever since.
Yeah, what are you getting them on over there anyway?
Well, so I like to use the tube, and actually, I generally used to use the worm, but this year I'm fishing with artificial only.
Awesome.
The only worms I fished with this year had donated by a guy that had no use for them after his day of fishing. So I figured, what the hell, I'll give them a shot. But this year, strictly artificial, and I'm putting up some good numbers of some good fish.
Yeah. Hopefully my wife will put up one of those pictures right now, honey. After the conversation's over, so.
Oh, that's okay.
God.
I'll try and slow down the
Nah, that's all right,
see if
Tom.
she can
She's
catch
sitting
up with
there.
us.
She's telling me she's ready, and there's nothing ready here. Nothing.
This is not. This is not right. This is not. You're
All right.
Why don't you put up?
It's the pressure.
She generally does a good job, so we'll have to cut her some slack.
Right. That's
Oh
all
my
right.
God.
That's all right. So anyway, Tom,
So-
tell me a little bit about this week. You had a nice fish at your personal best.
Yeah, so let's see. Last Thursday, I was out fishing in the fog on my kayak. A little dangerous out there. You got to keep a watchful eye out for the boats. We waited on the shore for a little while. Looked like it was going to clear out. We launched. The fog rolled back in, and it continued to roll in and roll out most of the morning until I got off the water at about noontime. But started out, I caught a nice 42-inch fish, and I was like, oh, the big ones are around.
Yeah,
And really,
transfer
you
that
catch
one
a-
over, honey.
Oh,
There
wow.
you go.
Look at that.
There goes one of the fish you got up, Tommy.
All right. Yeah, that looks like, let's see, that looks like a 39-inch fish that I caught earlier in the season. I got my heavy boots on. Looks like I'm dressed for the cold weather. So
Right.
probably a crappy day in May. So that fish there, I was fishing a particular spot that I had caught a nice fish in earlier a few years back, and I was having a tough day. I was in full-on search mode, looking for the fish. Just as I passed over a spot that I had marked on my electronics, this guy decides to hit and tried to take me into some old timbers and an old dock that was in the area.
But you got him.
I got him. I had to put my fighting skills. I could feel him bouncing off the timber in there, and
nice.
I was fortunate to pull him out.
Nice.
But yeah.
Awesome stuff, Tom. I wanted to get you on to let the people see you. I know you're out there fishing. You're grinding very hard. It's like surf fishing. It's like any other type of fishing. You got to get out there and fish. The more you get out there and fish, the better chances you have of catching that bigger fish. But
I know there's a guy, Peter Jenkins, at the Saltwater Edge. He likes to say that 10% of your fishermen catch 90% of the fish.
That's right.
And I think he's onto something, and I'm just fortunate to be part of the 10%, I think.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you so much, Tom. I appreciate it. Go ahead, honey.
And that one? Is this the same thing?
Yeah, go ahead. Put that over. What's that one,
But
Tom?
yeah, there's nothing replacing time on the water and getting your experience in.
Yeah. No doubt about
let's see. That was this season. I'm out at a favorite spot. There's a sandbar out there. There's a lighthouse out there, and again, this fish came on a spot that I had caught. You generally catch some 44-inch fish in there,
right?
And I was caught the tide just right. Top of the tide just started to drop.
Beautiful.
The rip was forming. I'm coming along again, search mode, because I had only caught 2 small stripers prior to that one. And it's coming up where the sandbar sort of levels out, and made it up. Started to mark a couple of fish, turned into them while I was trolling my tube, and bam, fight was on.
It's a beautiful thing, Tom. I love it. Like I said, I wanted to put you on. I want the guys to see you, Tom. You do fish very hard. You caught some nice fish this weekend, and you've gotten nice fish throughout your kayaking times, Tom. But thank you very much. Yep. I wanted you to call in and just give you a little time on here. Maybe one day we'll get you on as a full-time guest, and we'll talk more. But I definitely wanted to say hello to you, Tom, all right?
All right. Well, have a great night, and I'm looking forward to the show, and thank you for having me on.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you, buddy. You have a good night.
All righty. Bye-bye.
All right, there you go. Tom Hood, yak angler. The guy fishes hard. That's all I'm going to tell you. And like Tom said, one of the gentlemen said that 10% of the fishermen catch 90% of the fish out there. It's because those 10% are constantly fishing, guys. And after a while, too, you get out there long enough, you will catch those fish, whether you like it or not. All right, right now, enough said, guys. You know I take donations on this channel coming through Super Chats. I don't care if it's $1, $2. Kick in the money because I got to catch up. The Montauk Striper Challenge is almost here. And I save every single penny for that first prize of $5,000. So we're not quite there. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I have to make it before October, and I don't want to put money into it. I put enough money into this damn thing already. So help me out. Donations help us. It keeps us going, and something to look forward to at the end of the show. Yeah, I'm going Hawaii after with all the donations I get. Anyhow, other than that, let's get over to our guest right now. Nick Honachefsky, fisherman down in Jersey, fisherman worldwide. He's on a TV show. We'll talk about that. We'll talk a little little fluke fishing coming up this summer. Let's go, let's go. And obviously those stripers, red drums and redfish and all that good stuff. Let's go, let's go. Nick, welcome to the show. How you doing, Nick?
What's up, Eric? Mr. Poseidon, what's happening?
Yes, sir.
Man?
Everything is...
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go, Nick. That's right. Buddy, I've been, I'm going to let you know live on the air. So I've been following you as far as, I watch you. I've come to your seminars since I started fishing in Jersey even more and getting to know more people. And I found you very interesting, good stories. One thing I will say, you are the happiest guy when you're going fishing. Those pictures, I don't think I've ever seen you not just happy, but happy in those pictures. Tell me a little bit about how this fishing thing got started for you, Nick.
What else there is to do when you're fishing, man? You got to be happy. You know, I think a lot of, people that know me, they know that I love fishing just for the sport of it. You know, obviously I'll take home fish, but I think that gets lost a lot in this not necessarily new generation, but with the social media generations and, people are out there
100%.
trying too much to capture it on film when you should just be enjoying it, man. That's why we go do it, So, anytime I'm out fishing is a blessed day, whether I catch a burgal or whether I catch a 1,000-pound marlin. I
Right.
get the same jazz, the same rush, So,
Yes.
and luckily I've been able to make a career out of that.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Nick. I know we were talking earlier. You've been, all over the world pretty much fishing. You want to talk a little bit about that, how that started for you? Or was it just you were sitting around in another part of town in the world and you said, I'm going fishing?
I'll try and make this real quick for everyone. So,
Yeah.
I grew up, my father was an avid outdoorsman and hunter and fisherman, and he took me down on the saltwater side of things. He took me down to Island Beach State Park in Jersey when I was like 5, 6 years old.
Wow.
And my mom used to write us sick notes, during November. For some reason, my brother and I always got sick. And my dad would take us out of school and go fishing down at Island Beach. So we got our first striped bass then. And that's when I caught the saltwater bug, when I was about 5, 6 years old. And then from then on, I'll fast forward real quick. I went to school at Villanova University, got like a business degree, and all my friends went to Wall Street and work and everything. I was like, man, I don't want to be in the city. I don't want to be, working for someone else. So I ended up working my first job at a bait and tackle shop, managing it, Real Life Bait and Tackle, because I wanted to gravitate my whole professional career around fishing. That lasted about 8 months. And then I went into the Fisherman magazine, which is a long-time publication, especially out in Long Island, New Jersey. I'm sure everyone knows the Fisherman mag. I worked there from 98 to 2002. And then my career in the writing industry took off then. I started the hook, line, and sinker section with John Geiser in the Asbury Park Press. We did that whole big, it was like a 10, 12-page section. Then I ended up being the editor at Saltwater Sportsman for 2 years, and continually write for every magazine that's ever been there and still exists, like Field and Stream, Outdoor Life, Fisherman, On the Water, Marlin, Sport Fishing, any mag that's out there, continually write for. But the whole point is I took the initiative to do my own television show now, which is Saltwater Underground. I'm sure a bunch of your viewers or listeners watch it, I'm sure. It's the only, saltwater fishing show. It's based in the Northeast on national television. So we, all these Florida shows, I'm friends with all the Florida guys, man, like Tommy Rowland, Carter Andrews, Peter Miller, all my good buddies.
Wow.
But I'm focusing on the Northeast. So we're on Discovery Channel, Sportsman's Channel, Waypoint TV, and World Fishing Network. So we showcase our lifestyle up here in the Northeast. So, and that's where I'm at right now. So hosting and producing the show, continually writing for all the mags.
Sounds pretty exciting, right, honey?
Nice.
God damn it, Nick. Can you get me a piece on that show or what? No, I'm kidding.
Soon enough, brother.
It's pretty cool, man. I enjoy that. I enjoy, not enjoy, but I like your enthusiasm, bro. You got good enthusiasm. I'm the same way. When I get out there, whether I'm not catching or I'm catching, I'm just happy I'm out there. It's a beautiful thing. Talking about surf fishermen, the way we are, I've always believed that surf fishermen are the bull of the industry here. What do I mean by that? Bad weather, bad anything is good fishing for us, and we're out there, whereas other people are locking up their doors and sitting back, relaxing with a beer on the couch. As far as other type of fishing, whether you're doing lake fishing, boat fishing, nobody goes out in weather like that. But when the surf fisherman catches wind of that, it's a little bit of a drizzle on the end of your lip, because we all look to go out there. It's when the big fish are going to show up, and that's how it is.
For the nasty stuff, man. That's when obviously, like surf fishing, I do all types of fishing. Surf fishing obviously is the easiest and most accessible for me, so I'm always on the beach, on the sands. But obviously, I'll do offshore, inshore, bay, whatever it takes. Pier fishing, all fishing for me is the same. I love it all. But surf fishing holds a special place in my heart because you can basically, when you tether your line to a creature that's in the ocean with your feet on the sand, there's something more ethereal about that. And I believe you're more in touch with the spirit of the fish when you're fishing from land. It gives you that real native vibe. But like you said, we look for the bad weather when it comes to striper fishing, in the surf. But I've been fluking all day today. I didn't catch crap today, just so you know.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't always catch fish, and anyone who says they do, they're big liars.
Big liars. Yeah, that's what I'm
Right,
saying.
but,
It's getting out there, getting on the grind.
Yeah. But I did have a bunch of fluke in the surf the last week. I've been, hitting this nice little hole with little Andrus bucktail and, Berkeley gulp. So when the bass have moved on, they're up by you guys now up in New York.
Right.
We're looking at June 22nd now. There's still a couple stripers hanging around, but we're waiting until they come back in the fall again.
Yeah. It's when you fish from the surf, it feels so gratifying when you catch a fish. And if you catch a bigger fish, it's really gratifying because it really is a difficult thing. You take a view from above and where you fish, the fish do not come in to the edge of the shores unless they're coming in for a reason, and that's the bait fish a lot of times. And you got to hope that they're there, and hopefully there are bass chasing them, and you're there, and you got the right bait on. There's a lot of variables with striped bass. I think the striped bass have the most variables in the fucking world, man. It's just so many different things, always a different thing happening up to the seasons we're having now. Tell me a little bit about that, Nick, about the fish coming into Jersey. I know it's not like in the past, but tell me a little bit about that.
Actually, I think it's been the best we've ever had it. The last 15, maybe 18 years. All your New York guys are going to hate me for this.
That's all right.
But I even claimed an article in Saltwater Sportsman saying that Jersey is the new mecca for striped bass, and that wasn't just willy nilly saying that. I fished Montauk before. I fished up in Cape Cod.
Right.
And for consistency and big fish in the surf, we've had it really good in Jersey for the last 15 years. I would say
have, definitely.
And that's a bunch of factors. The spring runs have been really good. With the bunker coming in, but the falls have been balls out like amazing, man. Like late October through November and December.
Yes.
Quantity of fish and quality of fish. And the bait that we always have, like inundating our area with sand eels, peanut bunker. Then later in the season, we'll get herring and mackerel. We've had squid in the surf, and we never really we don't get that. The northern New England guys get that.
Right. 100%.
Just such a variety of bait has kept those bass around here. And it's truly been a blessing to have the striper fishing that we have had here in the last bunch of years. Strangely enough, last fall wasn't really super hot. There was probably, you would get into like 2 or 3 blitzes during the week.
Sure.
It wasn't like every day constant, as it had been. So I don't know if a new shift in pattern is happening in the next one or past year or two, but overall, it's really been amazing down here. And talking about stripers right now, it's summertime. We have our resident bass here, so people can catch them at nighttime. There's still some larger fish hanging around, but we're truly waiting for that fall run to spark off again.
Yeah, the fall run, when you say the new mecca, well, Nick, unless you want to end the show right now, don't say that again, okay? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But Jersey has been.
Everyone can have an opinion. That's great.
But it's true, though. No, I'm kidding.
We're all fishermen, man.
Of course.
Have fun with it,
Nick,
whatever,
no doubt about it. But I will say this, that Jersey has been producing fish, like you said, for the last, 10, 15 years. I've only been fishing there now, I would say about 10 years, maybe a little more, maybe 12 years. But every year I've gone down. It's been great fishing. It's been great times. And Montauk, well, every once in a while we get on some good runs of fish there. I feel that's the Chesapeake problem down there. Bill Wetzel kind of gave me a little bit of knowledge on that down there, that the fish just aren't there anymore. And a lot of those fish that would come out south shore of Long Island and then make their way around Montauk. And, well, those Chesapeake fish weren't what they used to be. They're getting the Chesapeake fish and those Delaware fish right now in Long Island. Those are those fish coming up. The first fish they got were the ones that came out of the Hudson, out of us. But go ahead, honey.
No, I was going to say, does Nick agree? Agree with that?
Well, yeah, that's, I mean, that's a usual pattern that's happening. I mean, there's been a dearth of fish in the Chesapeake, which is a problem because they have different regulations, obviously, down there inside the bay,
Right.
where they're keeping a lot of more smaller fish. And this can be I mean, this is a whole political issue on, size limits, regulations. Everyone knows what we're talking about, how they change year to year, day to day, basically. We've been blessed in Jersey, man. All those fish just kind of stick around our area, in
Yeah.
Raritan Bay for the Hudson fish. The Delaware Bay fishery isn't like it used to be. I must say that. That used to be the place where you can get legit 40, 50-pound fish, chunking like the 20-foot slew, 60-foot slew, all those
Right.
Delaware spawning fish. But you don't see that fishery anymore. No one even mentions the Cape May rips anymore. And that used to
Yeah.
be the place in the late 90s through like the mid 2000s, right?
Yeah, I remember going there as a kid with a couple of my buddies' dads, and we went down there, and it was loaded with fish, striped fishermen everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. But the good thing is that it's almost like all the stripers in Jersey, at least, are all spread out along the coastline. So,
Right.
Guys, obviously, like Mojo balls were hot a couple years ago. The old schoolers with the bunker spoons getting the big stripers. Chuck Timon, who's like really innovated. He brought up the Chesapeake tactic of eels on planer boards up to Jersey. He catches 40, 50-pound fish all through the summer off Jersey. They're just a little bit deeper. They're in 65, 70 foot of water, and no one's thinking stripers in the summer. So we'll keep fish year round, but mainly the spring and the fall is like the prime time. And we've had, the one thing I must say is that we're having larger fish around here, like up until like maybe December. December is when we get those schoolie fish and kind of like the little rats again. But generally speaking, most fish that you're going to catch in Jersey from the surf on average are 28 to like 43 inches, just on average. You know what I mean? You won't see a lot sub 28, and you'll see a few that are over that 43, 40,
Right.
44 to 50 inch mark, So
I was always used to coming down to Jersey, so I've done it now, I think, for the last 5 years straight. I do
Right.
that Thanksgiving blast, man. And there's nothing but blitzes going on all over the place. And nothing really big. You're always going to get a guy that's going to get a big fish because you know that the bigger fish are hanging out at the bottom and those little motherfuckers are at the top going nuts.
Right, yeah.
So, but I've always gone down there, and it's been a great time. Last year I got on some great blitzes, slot fish. Absolutely fantastic, bro. I was on the middle there in the storm, and it was me and one other guy fishing that whole Island Beach State Park side, and I was just like, this was the greatest day of my life. The only reason I stopped, I was getting ready to stop. I was like, I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't reel in anymore. I was tired. And then I walked away. I walked halfway up to my car on the beach, and then I said, you know what? When is this going to fucking happen again? Relax, turn around.
Right.
And I went back, and I hurt my arm, and I didn't fish for 2 months after that. No, that didn't happen. But I went back, and I stuck it out as long as I could. It's just,
it's funny, like you're saying, I can't. Like I live on the beach, right? So like
Right.
I'll walk up during like the middle of the day when I'm working or something like that, and then just checking the surf, and then all of a sudden you see like a blitz happening. I always got the rod in the car, I always got the canyon bag with the lures. I'm like, in jeans, and it's like, middle of November. I'm like, F it, man. It's like I gotta go. I'll be the Benny out there with no waders, and I'll just wade in with my jeans. Like don't worry about like the surf hitting me, and just like keep casting and be like, yeah, I'm true Benny style right now, getting it done. But sometimes you just can't pass it up when it's there.
you can't pass it
the
up,
toughest thing in the world. It's such an addiction.
That's
Like when you see that, it's just like pressing that button, and you gotta like continually go like make that cast.
Yep.
So
Well, I'm glad you never saw me in my Speedos fishing, but other than that, thank God, bro. Those were the days.
I saw the tops, I think, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got a couple of people out there want to say hello to Henry Lacrosse. What's up, buddy? Willie J, what's going on? Wormway, what's going on? How you doing? Ed Point, what's going on? We're going to get in touch, Ed Point, very soon. I need you. I need your bags. Tim Murphy, part of the Jersey crew boys down there. Tim Murphy, you introduced me to Jersey. Thank you so much, brother. I love you. Aquatic Apes, how you doing? Who else we got out there? And Delco Joe, what's going on? Delco Joe's going to be sponsoring my tournament this year with the rulers again. Be making a couple of rulers for me here and there. Not just a couple, a lot of rulers. Hopefully we'll get a nice crowd to show up in Montauk. I've been doing that. It's my 5th annual, and this year is my first Jersey Striper Challenge. We'll see how those things work out. But other than that, we got Nick Honachefsky on here. Nick Honachefsky on classic, classic legend fisherman here. Bro, you're going to be a legend. You know, from all I've seen and all I've heard and the good stories I heard, it's, you know, I wanted you on my show for a while. Well, I got you on the show now, finally. And we're not done with you, Nick. No way. So, guys.
Look, Aquatic Ape says, Nick is a great fisherman.
That's right.
And Delco Joe.
Thanks, Aquatic Ape.
Ask Nick how to fish Jersey Blitz. You're on the floor, Nick. How do you fish the Jersey? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
You know, it's I will give this part of advice because everyone knows it can get batshit crazy, right? On the Jersey. So anytime there's a blitz, you know what I mean? But at least in Montauk, the boulders kind of keep people away from each other. In Jersey, you got to have fucking sharp elbows, right? So you got to have razors on your elbows. But I mean, you really do have to have etiquette, and I really like to stress this a lot. You know, the fish are going to be there, right? So everyone runs to the beach, they see a blitz, and it's just like a flock of seagulls eating bread that someone throws, right? You have to learn how to work the blitz a little bit more methodically. Those fish are there, they're jumping around, they're feeding on stuff. See where the fish are moving, right? So when everyone's like localized, all the trucks come behind you, they mug you, you know, in their back pocket, you know, everyone's been through it. Point is, watch where those fish are going. Get like 100, 200 yards ahead of that blitz, right? So when those fish are moving through, you're going to be the first ones on that blitz when everyone else is chasing them. And conversely, you'll be right in the, or subsequently, I should say, you'll be right in the middle of it when those fish are moving through and they're passing down the south. But then don't chase those fish. Stay right in that spot. When everyone's gone by you, those bigger fish are underneath, hitting all the bait that all those smaller fish have been chomping on. And while everyone's like chasing fish, you know, 200, 300, 400 yards down from you, I'm throwing like a small plug or a bucktail underneath the school and getting all these big fish, you know, with a bent rod all the time.
And I got to tell you something, Nick. I definitely believe you because I'm the type of guy, I want to get underneath those fish. Yeah. And it's very hard on a blitz to have that lure drop more than a foot before you got a fish on it. I don't care if you got a 3-ounce weight and it's going fast. That's what the idea is. And here's Nick now. He's telling you what to do. Watch the fish a little bit. It's a fucking blitz. Relax. You're going to be on them for a little while.
Right.
So watch that blitz. Once you see that fish dissipate or that blitz dissipate a little bit, move down the beach a little, you got another 10 guys down you on the right, blasting for fish. Now it's time. Now it's time to throw that lure in there. Nick's telling you, drop it in the bottom. Now here come the big fish. They're coming in. They're picking up all the little scatters. And hopefully, I'm not guaranteeing you a fucking big fish because Nick just said to do this. But I promise you this, you're definitely increasing your odds. That I guarantee. So go ahead, Nick. Tell us, Nick. Go ahead.
Let me be clear about this, too. Yeah. I'm not like holier than thou. Sometimes I see a blitz and I'm absolute batshit running right up to it like on the cast because you're so jacked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
so
what
jacked.
I like to do is kind of take a deep breath, see what's going on, see if there's fish to the right of it, to the left of it, see which way the bait's moving, so I can plan my strategy ahead. You know, so I don't want people to think like, oh, I don't go batty on blitz. Fucking, of course I go nuts on blitzes, right? But here's another thing too. This is a tactic that I started doing maybe about, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago. When you get a blitz sometimes, right? And I'll tell you this quick story. I was up in Seagirt, like Spring Lake area.
Yeah.
It was like the fall of, you know, about 7 years ago.
Sure.
Peanut bunker were getting blown up by bass around the jetties. And everybody's casting everything at them that you can imagine, from mimicking the profile to storm shads to like, you know, SP minnows to topwaters, and no one's getting hit. If you see bass everywhere. So what I was doing, I'm getting in that bass's mindset, thinking that they're crushing all these baits and they're sinking to the bottom. So I cast a storm shad out, and this was the technique. I cast it out, click over the bail, and this was the technique.
Yeah, right.
I just let that thing sit on the bottom.
Yeah.
And the waves were just washing it back and forth.
Sure.
They call it dead stick in a shad. Slow rolling. and all of a sudden, boom, boom.
Yeah,
get the
right.
hit and set the hook on them because those bass were sniffing under his school, watching that
Absolutely,
peanut
buddy.
butter, looking like it's flailing.
You
So,
sound a
you know,
lot like Billy the Greek, Nick. I'm sorry to cut you off. You sound a lot
no.
like Billy the Greek because Billy the Greek, that was his thing, watching guys fish. Then he would watch all them run and take off and chase the fish. And that's when he would go onto the beach. 2 casts later, he was on a nice fish. I mean, back in the days, you could do that even more because of the way the trends and the logs and everything worked. Today, it's a fucking hypocrisy. It's fucking crazy today. But,
it's fucking nuts.
The only thing about today that can make a difference is the amount of time that you put in the surf. The more time you put in the surf, the more chances you have of catching a nice fish. Before you say anything, Nick, surf fishing with Bayside Dave. Bayside Dave, you're going to be on the show coming up, I think, July or August. We're going to be talking about fluke fishing. I love you, brother. Thank you so much. I met you down in Surf City that day. Thanks so much, and thanks for that donation. We live on donations here, guys. Like I said, $1, $2, I don't care.
His comment says, Nick is a legend in the making. Let's
Absolutely.
go.
Are you kidding me?
Thanks, Bayside Dave.
Yeah.
So are you, bud. I love what you're doing, Bayside Dave. I watch your stuff.
There you go, Dave.
Yeah.
There you go. The man who you're calling a legend is watching your stuff. That's right. You're going to sleep good tonight. I know it, buddy. Let's go, baby. It's a beautiful thing. So, Nick, going a little off the subject, so I consider you like a party guy. You like your music. You like your little guitar string there, going out, having a good time. You are a classic surf fisherman. Surf fishermen, guys, are a different breed of surf fishermen. They're a different breed. We're not the same. Do you understand? My brain doesn't function correctly. That's why I'm a surf fisherman. You have to get that through your heads. It's great. Be proud of it because not many guys want to be surf fishermen. Who the hell wants to put on that bulky equipment, get in the water, cold, hot, get in the water? A lot of you guys fish. In Montauk, you're skishing, and the sharks are swimming around you. You're like, yeah, this is great. This is great. I'm going out on the reef. God bless you. You guys are great. You guys got bigger cajon guys than I do. And I always thought I had pretty big ones. Right, honey? I always thought I had pretty big ones, but you guys got bigger ones. But anyway, again, talking about the surf fishermen, we are the bulls of the ocean, guys. Never fucking forget that. We always push forward and we never give up. It's who we are. We're all special people. We have a little piece of our brain moving, and it's why we love each other so much. We're all the same. Cheers, Nick.
That's it. It's definitely takes it to a different level of surf fishing because you get, number one, it's easily accessible. You can do it anytime you really want to if you plan it out right. And you can do it any hour, generally speaking, during the night shift. You know what I mean? For striped bass. But,
That's right.
You know, surf fishing itself is not just stripers, you know what I mean? With fluke, with bonita, with Spanish smacks, with sharks, with stingrays, with, you know, everything, weak fish, bluefish, everything. So, you know, it keeps you going. And that's one thing is I hope that a lot of your listeners don't just have a myopic view of like stripers, you know, because I think, honestly, I think stripers are probably the easiest fish to catch out of them all. And that's no joke. But like, you know, a new generation comes in and they think like, you know, everything's stripers in the surf. There's so much opportunity in the surf to fish for. It's not just stripers. So expand your horizons, get out there and see the different species, you know?
And I want to say something, Nick, talking about different species. You were talking about a little earlier today, redfish. Tell me a little bit about that down in Jersey and what's up with that? Because if you like to eat fish, that's a good fish to eat.
So, well, first of all, they're not common, okay, at all. They're uncommon, but not rare. So there was the first redfish that was caught, reported about 2 days ago in Island Beach State Park. It was a 12-pound redfish caught by Dylan Garrett, who was bucktailing for fluke with a gulp, you know, a little bucktail and a gulp. And he caught a 12-pound redfish. But I was talking to you earlier about this. You know, redfish used to be the predominant surf species in New Jersey in the late 1800s, 1900s. They used to call them channel bass, right?
Right.
So, you know,
same thing in Montauk.
Like, yeah, there's cycles that happen.
Yeah,
you know, they were actually more prolific than stripers from all the reports, you know?
100%.
And so we'll see different, you know, different shifts throughout, you know, decades or centuries that like keep churning in, bringing back the old school, and that cycles out. So like anything that's new school now was probably old school at some point. So there's always cycles that are happening. So redfish, every year I hear about 100 or a couple hundred redfish that are caught in Jersey, usually during the later part of the year in the fall when the mullet run happens, and it's usually south of Barnegat Inlet. Is where we'll see our redfish. But we get speckled trout, redfish. Now sheepshead are making a huge comeback in Jersey.
Amazing.
Sheepshead used to be predominant species.
Yes.
In Jersey, Long Island, up to New
northeast,
England. They don't call it Sheepshead Bay because it's a cool name.
That's
What I
right.
mean? It's like those fish have been there historically, and now we're seeing a breeding population starting to happen in Jersey again, mainly South Jersey waters, where I know crabbers and conch potters that are catching small little juvenile sheepshead in the pots throughout the wintertime, which means that now we're starting to see a breeding population, which is awesome. I truly believe that we should get regulations on sheepshead in New Jersey, because generally speaking, the sheeps we get in New Jersey are 5 pounds to like 10, 11, 12 pounds. Those are all the big breeders, and people are keeping them. So I would advise to release the sheepshead if you catch them.
There you go, guys. Coming straight from Nick Honachefsky out in New Jersey, fisherman. Fishing all over the world. He's got his own underground TV show there. Fishing show, that is. I don't want to just say TV show. Way to go, Nick. You're the man. Nick, I got a thing coming here from Delco Joe. Delco Joe's down in the Delaware, runs a great tournament every year. Super tournament. We got here, it says, another thing that Nick didn't mention, Jersey. If fishing outside on the far side of the pods, if there's no boats, the big fish sit outside the group on the long cast, exclamation point. And he put that there. I'll tell you why, Nick. Because he came to Montauk last year and he won the longest cast, 147 yards. So there you go. Tell me a little bit about that. About Joe Delco's thought. Again, another thing that Nick didn't mention, Jersey fishing. If outside on the far side of the pods, if there's no boats, the big fish sit outside the group on that long cast.
That's a fact. And not only on the outside of the pods, they're going to be like around the sides of the pods too. They're not necessarily in that blitz, right?
Right.
So here's a case in point. What was it? I think it was like late October. It wasn't even during like our full blitzing months in November.
Sure.
There was a couple of fish that we were catching, right? Like larger size fish, like probably, I would say like 38 to 42 inches, something like that. And I see this tiny little pot of peanut bunker, and there's nobody to my left or my right. There's not like a blitzing action or anything. And I cast it on the way outside of that peanut bunker school, just because I knew that there was going to be big fish hanging around there, because they was hanging like little wolf packs on these little bait pods, and just follow them just to eat whenever they want. You know what I mean? It's like going into 7-Eleven. They grab their burrito and they leave for a little bit, go back and get something else, right?
Gotta love 7-Eleven, baby.
Or Wawa, actually. I'm Jersey, so. So I cast it, believe it or not, I got it right here. It's a strange thing. This is an old Dags grabber, like, bunker imitation. Bought this thing for $3 at a garage sale in Lavalette.
Wow.
And this thing, I cast around the outskirt of it, and I had like a legit 46, 47-inch fish off of that pod. And there was 2 others caught by me and my buddy Mickey that day off that little pod, but it was on the outside of the school, like your buddy was saying.
Yeah,
there,
and you know what I like? I mean, how gratifying is that? Explain to these guys, Nick, how gratifying it is that you figured out something and said, hey, let's try the outside of the pod. They're hanging out, and then you get them. How great is that feeling, Nick? I mean, really.
Yeah, there's no better feeling, because you're looking at like a virtual like wasteland, but there's a tiny little pot of peanut bunker. Now, how many times like you look at that pod when you're going by, like, there's no fish on that, it's too small.
Right.
But then you work it and you throw different things out there, not necessarily to mimic the profile either, right? So there's all a little peanut bunker there, right? Like, why not throw like a storm shad or something, right? But you throw like a larger profile bait that stands out away from that normal average bait that they're looking at, and it gets their attention.
Sure.
So, try that. Switch it up sometimes if you're not catching.
Everybody has their own way or their own ideas of how to catch a striped bass. But when you hear something like that, and it's coming from you, Nick, not that you're the best fisherman in the world, but it's very logical what you're saying. Here you are. Everything's the same. And that big fish is down there just chilling out, using his tail, talking around. And all of a sudden he sees something different. And you're right, Nick, it's going to get their eye, and they might take a lunge at it since they're a bigger fish. And obviously, in your case, my brother, it's what happened. They took that big bait. You got yourself a nice 47, 48-inch fish. God bless you on that, bro, because a lot of people out there, they wait for that day to come. And just a little idea for you. Try to keep this stuff. I'm not asking you to whip out a diary and start writing, oh, Nick was on Mr. Poseidon show and he wrote. Just think about it. Think about when you're fishing for these blitzes this year and you're out there in the fall season. Wait, think about it. Hey, Nick said, let's wait a little bit. All of a sudden it clears up. It slows down. Go to that outside of that pod. Throw that bait. See what happens. You two might get lucky. And if you do, you'll see how gratifying that is. Enough said by me. Go ahead, Nick.
Check this out. Mr. Poseidon, too.
Yes.
I have a book out called The Jersey Surf Diaries, right?
Yes.
And it's all my fishing logs, like you said.
Right.
10 years of my fishing logs, all put together in one book.
Wow.
Basically from 2002 to 2012. And it's all in one book, broken out month to month, week to week, day to day. 10 years of that. Showcasing like what I'm throwing, what the tides were, this and that. So it's like a guidebook to plan your Jersey outings. And then luckily I got that book out, with your logbook, like you said, you want to keep a logbook, always keep a logbook. But something one of your viewers might know, Superstorm Sandy like wiped me off the map. Like I lost everything in my life.
Right.
It's been a hard rebuild the last 13 years to try and get back home. But I'm glad that I put that logbook and I sent it out to the publisher before Sandy came.
Before Sandy
at
came.
least
Beautiful.
all those logs were in there. But the point is, keep a logbook.
Yeah.
And you can always reference it back to see what the patterns were, the times of the day, and you can plan your year out through those logs.
Right. I got to tell you something, Nick. People talk about logbooks, and honestly, I'm going to tell you the truth. I get a little bit angry, and I get a little bit jealous. But the truth was, everybody said, why don't you keep a logbook? So the best excuse I could give is like, look, I'm dyslexic. Okay, no problem. And then it's over. I lied, Nick. I lied. I was a lazy bastard. I start out my log just like this. All my logs were the same. So if I went fishing to Jones Beach, I was like, I went fishing to Jones Beach, 6/7/1919, whatever. And that was it. And then I would sit there and I would think, and then, I would light up a joint, and then it would ruin everything. It would ruin everything, Nick. But anyhow,
just don't even think. All you do is scribble down. I go home.
Remember,
I used to write it by hand.
Yeah.
But just go home. Go peanut bunker in the.
Fail to detect speaker. Please make sure the speaker is properly connected.
Did you click on something? Did you tighten everything?
Tighten? There's no screws here to tighten, but.
The cables, the cords, anything. Did you press a button?
Honey, just call him back. Stop wasting time.
No, I don't have to call. Restart the Zoom.
Unmute my audio with alternate A or press hold space. Alternate A.
Alt A?
Yeah.
No, that's not doing it. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I don't know what it is.
Nick, we're gonna. Your default has changed the speaker's Procast to C.
Where's my YouTube? Oh
Oh, we're in trouble here.
Change to microphone. It will now be used. Okay.
Rodecaster Pro Stereo will not be used. All right.
Yeah. Did you turn it back on? The Rodecaster? Okay.
I'm going to reset it. Hold on. Hold on, Nick.
Maybe we've gone too long.
Okay.
All right, so we'll
But
end
we
the
paid
Zoom.
for it. So.
Yes, I know, but okay.
But you were cheap and you didn't pay for it. Okay. Go ahead.
End this and we'll call him back. I don't
We'll call you
understand.
back, Nick. We'll call you back. We'll call you back. We'll call you back.
Well, exit
I
out.
got
Wait.
you here now.
Now we got you.
Okay, I hear you.
Now we
I
hear
hear you right
everything.
now.
I
Yeah.
hear you too. Oh man, I'm sorry about that, Nick. That never
That's all right.
happened
I
to us.
got you. I hear you.
Yeah,
Perfect,
we're
perfect.
We're about to spill secrets, you know.
Woo! We were ready to go. I think the fish gods were like, we got to stop these guys. They're going to ruin everything for the industry.
Stop these guys.
Does everyone hear the sound?
Yeah, does
I got
everybody hear me? Everybody
I
hear
got
me?
everything good.
Yeah, let's
see. Anybody hear me? Yeah, they say yes. Wormway hears us. It's a beautiful thing.
Antagonizer Lewis, it's those 19.
We were rolling, man.
Hey,
It's those 1919 cables.
That's great.
Oh my
Phew.
God, what was that?
Horrible. All right.
Like you said, the fish gods. We were about to spill secrets.
I'm telling you, man. That's what it was. Good thing
Definitely
Mr.
gremlins
P
at work.
don't work in a nuclear plant.
Thanks, Outcast One.
Yeah, buddy. Love you.
It was
I'll
the
see
hat.
you this week, Outcast. I'm coming out tonight with the wife.
So, I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, let's get back on hot mode. It's like you're in the middle of a thing with a girl before you were married.
Oh
and
my God.
then the doorbell rings or the freaking phone rings. And then when you're done with the conversation, the girl's like, oh, no, leave me alone now. It's like, what? What the freak happened? That's what it was like on the podcast tonight. Anyhow, no, me and Nick were not getting hot and heavy. Relax, everybody. Just a talk show, fishing show. All right. So anyway, Nick, let's get
Can we
back to
kind
talking
of
about fish.
Remember what we were saying?
Yeah, we were talking about running around the beach and letting the blitz slip by, and we were throwing the bait behind or on the side of the podcast.
Outside of the schools, all that jazz, you know.
Yeah, all that good stuff. So you guys pick something up on that, but let's talk about a little bit about something else, Nick, slowly as we finish it up. I want to know, like, what's your favorite gear, Nick? Like, what are you using on your reels? Is it switching up all the time? You don't care? Tell me.
Here's something for you. So, like, I mean, I am such an old schooler, right? And like I don't chase new products. I don't chase like the hot new thing or anything. And there's a time and place for everyone to do that. Everyone's got their own thing, what they do. I'm so old school, man. I know what works for me. I don't really change up anything because I know what works for me. I'm willing to try new lures, new, rods and reels, and whatever it takes. But funny enough, like when it comes to like striped bass fishing, we'll say. And I'm not sponsored by any of these guys or anything. I'm just telling you, like, I turn down all sponsorships from, lure manufacturers, this and that, because as a writer, I don't want to feel like I have to
obligated
specifically focus on them. But I will say this as a disclaimer for my show, Saltwater Underground, Fisherman Supply, Grumpy's Tackle, they sponsor me, so I promote them a little more on the show, but give them equal time in writing and stuff. But like truthfully, this old school Black Bomber catches me more bass than any other plug, any other metal, any other soft bait you can possibly imagine.
You guys hearing this, right? Tell them that plug, Nick, again.
And that's it. It's just an old school blurple or black and purple Black Bomber. Black or black and purple, blurple. And I cannot tell you, this accounts for probably 75% of my bass because I'm usually fishing low light hours for bass.
Right.
But, like I said, people carry, like, it's funny, you go up to the beach and you'll see, like, and there's a time and place, I guess, for each your own, where they have, like, these massive backpacks, like, they're climbing, like Mount Katahdin or something like that, right? or Everest, and I got all these backpacks and surf belts like this and that. And there's a time and place for that, but I do a little simple little like 6-pack canyon bag or whatever, right?
Wow.
But I even take 2 of the tubes out. I got like 4 tubes in there.
Yeah.
As long as I have my swimming plugs, my metals, my soft baits, and my popper. That's all I need. 2 or 3 of each, right? So like a SP Minnow or like a Savage Gear Panic Popper, the old school Ava jig, stuff like that. As long as I can cover my profile of baits, I'm good. So, that said, generally speaking, in Jersey, we don't have those big 12-foot rods like you need in Montauk necessarily to work those pencil poppers.
Yeah.
So there is a time and place for that. But on average, an 8 to 9 foot rod in New Jersey for what we do with a 5,000 class reel. I personally use like a Shimano Stratig or Shimano Miravel. Love the Shimanos because of their drags. And then the rod I'm using was actually, believe it or not, I used to use I still use St. Croix rods.
Sure.
And some of
Great
the
stuff.
Shimano rods, but I use this weird rod. It's called a Savage Gear. Actually made these rods called a Savage Gear Squad Rod.
Yeah.
And they gave me a bunch when they were sponsors of the Saltwater Underground. And I've been using that ever since. It's a 9-foot Savage Gear Squad Rod, medium heavy action, covers all the bass and blues I need. But I'll scale down when it's coming to like smaller bass or like fluke fishing, like to a 7.5 foot St. Croix Tidemaster Mojo type of rod. But generally speaking, I don't go over a 5,000 class reel in the surf. It can handle anything,
Yeah.
Even those like 30, 40, 40-pound fish in the bass in the surf.
Yeah,
As long
no
as your
doubt
drag
about
is
it.
set right,
Listen, St. Croix makes a great rod. I love
Yep.
St. Croix rods. I got a few of the Legend series. They haven't let me down. I haven't had any crack tips or anything. Just a good, solid rod. You got to pay for your better rods, as you guys already know. One thing I want to say right now is I just want to take a break, Nick, for about 30 seconds. I'm going to show these guys their giveaway today. So basically, I know this guy here, TL. I forgot what they're called. TL Lures. It's a husband-wife team. I picked these up at some of the shows. It's a nice pencil for you guys right there. I also got a Fat Cow bucktail here for you guys. Fat Cow makes some nice bucktails, obviously with the actual bucktails on there. And then I added in a Fight Lures glider, a really small one. This is a Tony antagonizer type kind of lures, where I love using Tony's poppers and things like that. Little what do you got, Tony? Those little ones, they're like tiny, and you use them for the schoolies there that I scored on last year. Those little metal lips, I don't know what you call them, but beautiful stuff. It was like fish after fish. Look, if you're looking for the big fish and just the big fish, and you're one of those guys on the surf who's catching the schoolie and goes, this sucks, you're an asshole. Something's wrong with you. Let me tell you. You're very lucky that you're catching fish. Striped bass is a difficult fish to catch. And when you get on those blitzes, I don't care if they're schoolies, I don't care if they're slot fish, be grateful for that. It's a great feeling, because I guarantee you'll wake up the next day and you'll be like, oh, I'm so sore. I caught all those fish. It was a great time. So please, do not be selfish. Make sure you release all these fish that you catch. I like to say all the fish, because I release all the fish. I've kept one fish in the last 3 years. It was a river fish. It swallowed the hook. It was bleeding like a maniac. And I didn't follow the law. It was 27 inches. If I dropped it, it would have just died. So anyhow, it is what it is. I did follow the law. It was 18 to 28. But anyway, I brought that fish home. My mom and my dad, they lived by rivers. My mom was a professional cleaner with fish. I brought it home. She was the one who taught me about cheek meat before anybody else taught me about cheek meat, and telling me that this is the best meat, that you can eat it like this. I'm like, no, you can't eat this one because we didn't freeze it. Those little worms in there, I'm going to die, and don't eat those freaking things. Because I know, Nick, they got these little worms in them fish. And what they do, that one night of fishing, when you're going to eat sushi, that one night it gets frozen, they kill it. So if you eat it dead, it's fine. It's when you eat it live that there's a problem. I forgot what those little worms are called, by the way. I don't know if you know, but
I know, but therere's some nasty shit like traveling the world like wahoo. If anyone's ever caught wahoo, in their stomach, any wahoo you catch have 2 parasites in every wahoo's stomach. And it's like a male and female counterpart, and they look like snails.
Ew.
And they're so gnarly, dude. If anyone catches a wahoo,
Oh.
cut them open in the stomach, and you'll see these 2 parasites that come out. But they don't get
Holy
into
shit.
the meat, you know. They're not like drum. Drum have worms, you know, like black drum, red drum have all the worms and stuff like that.
Now I
But,
start wondering if the producer
my
or the
God.
director of Alien was a fisherman
Yeah,
and got
probably
that
got that
idea,
from there.
you know?
yeah.
Pretty
That's funny.
cool stuff, man. But Nick,
you know-
tell me some of the areas you traveled outside of the United States, because I know you have.
Shit, man. Yeah, I've been to over 40 countries, I guess, fishing, and like you know,
Holy
anywhere
shit.
from, you know, like well, let's stay in the United States, the entire coastal United States, you know, east, west, Gulf Coast, Alaska, Hawaii, all of Central America, Nicaragua, Panama, Costa Rica, Belize, you know, every Guatemala, everything, all Mexico, Ascension Bay, the Caribbean
Wow.
islands, you know, all the Caribbean and everything. And it's funny, like I caught like my first marlin and like the BVI, you know, my first rooster fish out in Mexico in the Sea of Cortez. That was like a challenge for me. And what I want to kind of like get across to your viewers is that, like, you know, broaden your horizons. I know, like, you know, as in the Northeast up here, a lot of people are so dialed into striped bass, right? And like,
Yeah.
I'm talking about striped bass because this is kind of what you do and what your listeners do.
Absolutely.
But I equally put in the same amount of time for rooster fish or tarpon down in Boca Grande or bonefish down in the Abacos. Like, I equally fish with the same passion, the same fervor, and the same commitment for all these different species around the planet, you know? I'm just known here, obviously, in Jersey a lot because this is where I'm born and bred and I live here, you know? But broaden your horizons, see what's going on around in the world. You know, there's so
Yeah.
many different species that that you can apply your tactics here to a different area. You know, like
It's
and maybe pick up, you know, new knowledge from new people out there that you might see in like Cabo San Lucas or in Aruba or something like that. You know. And you know, and teach them something too, how you fish. Like a lot of people don't know how to bucktail in the Caribbean because they don't even know what a bucktail is, right? Conversely, like out in you know, like just say like Sea of Cortez or something, they use these big Ranger plugs and like tatey jigs in California. No one knows what a tatey jig is out here, but it's basically like a glorified avid jig that's a little bit thicker, you know?
Sure.
But have conversations with other fishermen, you know, broaden your horizons. Like, understand that we're all the same spirit and the same soul.
We're all the
but
same
we do
breed,
it a different
bro.
way wherever
No
we
doubt.
are, you know? Yeah.
Also, I want
And,
to say hello to Juan Gonzalez. Juan Gonzalez. Sorry about that. Juan Gonzalez, thank you for that super chat. Guys, remember, we take super chats here. It's how we get by. It's what we look forward to, the super chats, because after the show, we take the money and we go to Hawaii and we have a great week.
No.
Oh.
Right.
But thank you, Juan. We appreciate that. Juan is 2024 champion of the Montauk Striper Challenge. He won last year's challenge, came in first place, $5,000, plus that gorgeous varsity jacket with the hoodie, all kinds of patches on there from every brand you can imagine. And also the inside lining is a picture of Juan, about 40 pictures in black and white. Thank you, Juan. We appreciate you. And guys, join my channel. It's $3 a month. Any videos I come out with, you get to watch first. So other than that, we do it. Remember, guys, not a guy who makes money on this channel by far. I do not do that. It's not about that. I walked in some guy's store in Jersey. I'm not going to mention his name, but I don't blame him. I walked in and I was telling him everything and the challenge and Jersey. And he goes, you know, he was like almost bored. And I go, look, I don't make any money doing this. And he goes, stop right there. Stop right there. Now I know you're lying to me because you said you're not making any money. I said, listen, I have a regular job. You don't understand. But he was a very nice guy, and I don't blame him. But I sent over still business to him because he doesn't know who I am. Eventually, people get to know who I am, and then they realize in the end, man, that guy's fucking retarded. He lost his house doing things for the surf fishermen. Yes. But I love you guys to death. I don't do that. We didn't have any kids. Right now, we'd be sitting downstairs picking our noses, having some coffee, probably watching TV. I'm not going to let that happen to me, bro. I'm going to keep this going for as long as I can. Get to know guys like Nick Honachefsky, great fisherman, legend in the making over here. Get to know all you guys, and I just keep going. And so I stay with the young crowd. You guys are keeping me young, and you're keeping me out there fishing. I'm leaving for Montauk tonight with my wife. My wife is giving me all these things like, don't tell them they're going to come and shoot us in Montauk. So it's like, so anyway, we're going to Montauk. We're going for about 4 days. Also, I want to mention I'm going for the tournament, More Fishing. I forgot the name of the gentleman who's throwing the tournament.
More Than Fishing.
Yeah, More Than Fishing in California. I'll be flying out there with Mike Shrugs and a buddy of his. We're going to have a great time. I can't wait for that. Fishing out there in California, looking
He's
to catch my...
if Nick is going to go to California.
Nick, you going to California with us or what? We're leaving July 8th, bro.
It all depends on the timing. Well, I'm actually supposed to be in Antigua that week, which is kind of interesting.
Even
so,
better, no doubt.
Oh.
When you say interesting, it means it's a lot better. Wombat, what's up?
Nice.
Good to see you here. Wombat's still leading the Bill Wetzel tournament with that 47-pound or 48-pound fish. I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, nice fish.
Yeah. He's leading the tournament. It's pretty much going to end at the end of June. And then we have the Shindig on July 19th out in Montauk. Great time. All the fishermen and the awards will be doing that there. Antagonizer Lures is asking, Nick, where can we watch your show? Are past episodes available also?
Well, right now, generally speaking, Saltwater Underground airs in Q1 on Discovery Channel, and then Q2 on Sportsman's channel. And then since those quarters have passed, we're at the end of June right now. Now you can watch it 24/7 on Waypoint TV. All your streaming services, Fubo, Tubi, Amazon, Prime, everything like that. Just look up Saltwater Underground. And for terrestrial television, we're going to be on World Fishing Network for Q3 and Q4, 3 days a week. I don't have the actual days yet, but just like look at if you have World Fishing Network, DVR it. And all my past episodes are on Waypoint TV on the website. You can watch it there, or on my YouTube channel, which is Saltwater Underground with Nick Honachefsky, all the past 5 seasons, and we're filming season 6 now. So.
There you go, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for that, Nick. We'll also leave that on the bottom to let all you guys know. After the show, just come on down, check it out.
SaltwaterUnderground.com.
Yeah. Oh, also, if I can say this, I'm just starting something brand new with my website.
Yes.
So saltwaterunderground.com, you can see all like where the shows are and all this.
Yeah.
But I'm actually starting to use my editorial aspects to put out the Saltwater Insider. So we're just building this out now. It's going to launch probably July 1st. It's going to have weekly articles, and not just fishing related, but coastal lifestyle, like where to go to eat and drink and get drunk or eat a great meal, and new gear that's coming in, and rod and reel reviews. And it's all from me, because I'm tired of writing for other people that I have to write within constraints for. And so this is absolutely fucking raw and unfiltered.
As long as
I'm not paid by any of these dudes or anything. So you're going to get the real deal. If I don't like something, I'll tell you why I don't like it. And like, if I do like something, I'll point the positives out and, and say like, well, they can improve here or there, but it's up to you guys to decide. But you can check that out at saltwaterunderground.com. But you can watch all the episodes from there too. There'll be links.
Cool.
Pretty cool stuff. I love the way you say, you can find out where there's good eateries. But as you know, surf fishermen, 7-Eleven or a McDonald's around. We are most of the happiest campers out there today, Nick.
Wawa. We live on Wawa.
But I am out with the wife these next 5 days with her. And obviously, we got to go out to some nicer place, a little nicer. Somewhere we got to leave a tip.
Dock, dude. You got to get your muscles at the dock, right?
That's it, buddy. So basically, we'll be together for these next few days, having a good time, and pretty much doing the same thing, looking for places in Montauk where we can have a good time, whether it's fishing or whether it's eating or whether it's just going out and having a few drinks with your buddies. It's a great, great time. Juan Gonzalez, once again, thank you so much, brother. You are the man. I will mention that 2024 champion of the Striper, Montauk Striper Challenge 2024. Congratulations, Juan. And I know you'll be defending your title this year for sure. Other than that, Nick, we're slowly winding down. We're at 8:21.
Oops.
I usually run the show for now, but we do have Nick Honachefsky on. So Anything else you want to finish the show up with? You want to say anything? Because I will have you on again. Don't feel like you got to say everything right now. Save some of that dirty stuff for next time. But tell me what you want to finish up here, what you want to say, anything.
I'll give you one of my lowest points of my fishing career.
Yes.
And I don't know how many people out there know that I was the all-tackle world record holder for the lowly Bergal, right?
No
like
way.
The Bergal, like a cunner, right? You know, they're about like 3 to 4 inches long normally. I caught this one Bergal on a trip on the party boat Dauntless in Jersey out of Point Pleasant. Reeled it up. I look at the thing, and my buddy and I look at each other like, that's got to be a fucking world record, dude. At least a state record. I call my buddy on shore. State record was like 1 pound, 4 ounces. I'm like, this got to be bigger than that.
Yeah.
So I run into Fisherman's Supply. It was like 2008. I run in, I got this cooler. I'm like, yo, you got to stay up, and I got a world record coming in. And he's like, what is it? I'm like, Bergal. He goes, get the fuck. I'm closing. I was like, no, you got to stay in. I'll bring it in. Long story short, we put it on the scale. 2 pounds, 9 ounces.
No way,
blew
dude.
out. You know whose record it blew?
Yeah.
Al Ristori used to have the world record Bergal. So Ristori calls me up. He goes, I heard you got the new world record Bergal. And he wrote up in his column in the Star Ledger, he goes, I thought I had low hopes and low goals. I found someone who has less respect than I do, and he's got the new all-tackle world record Bergal.
Shit.
Which is great. So I got it mounted, and it's so fun.
Yeah,
a mount. I think I'm the only guy on the planet that has a mount, the skin mount of a Bergal. Which is
I
cool.
love it.
That's
I love
man.
it. That is so cool, man. Listen, bro. I don't care what you got a world record of. Something to be proud of, bro. Imagine you're the only guy in the world that caught a fish that big.
Yeah, and think about that. I had the record of all the entire population of humanity. I caught the biggest fish of that species. You know what I mean?
It's so awesome. I love it.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
I love it. Listen,
that's great.
all I got to say is I had a great time on this show today with you, Nick. I knew I would. You're just a cool guy, easy to get along with. And you are very passionate about fishing, and not just about striper fishing. As you mentioned today, you like fishing for all types of species of fish and getting around all over the world. As you said, you've been to over 40 countries, which is quite amazing. You mentioned earlier about a rooster fish. That's on my bucket list one day.
Yep.
I will have one before I'm dead. I guarantee that. But it looks
Let
like a
me know,
lot of
and
fun.
I'll tell you where to go.
Yeah, man, no doubt about it,
I
Nick.
failed a bunch of times before I got one. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right, man. It's what fishing is all about, right? That's why they call it fishing and not catching. But, Nick, any last final words, any shout-outs to anybody? Go ahead.
Well, I appreciate my family for always getting me into fishing, all my friends I fish with. And if you guys can, follow me on Instagram at Nick Honachefsky. It'd be great. And, DM me ideas if you guys want to do shows. And by the way, Mr. Poseidon, I've got you lined up possibly for an episode this year. I'm pulling out the season 6 schedule right now. So we got to talk after this.
Absolutely, buddy. I appreciate you, Nick. You're the man.
And keep fishing fun. That's what I want to really stress, man. Keep fishing fun. That's why we're here doing it, and encourage other people. Don't be that Black Betty or something like that, man. Don't be like a jerk on the beach. Be nice. Be nice to people, man.
Hang on a second, Nick. We're going to do this giveaway right now really quick. So I got it on the overhead. Guys, I got these lures here. I got a nice pencil popper by TL. It's a husband-wife team. I don't have their card. It came out of here. I lost it. I don't remember. Fat Cow Bucktail, right? Hand-tied for surf and boating and jetty. Looks like they make some nice stuff. And, of course, my man Dave, Fight Laws, quality stuff. It's a nice little small glider. Great in that small blitz when you're getting those schoolies. Just super stuff. And, again, I'm going to mention that Tigerizer Laws also makes some great stuff for some blitzes out there. I have a few of his products. Thank you so much, guys, for coming to this show. I have a great time with you guys every week, especially this week, because I'm not going to work tonight. I'm going fishing. Talking to my man here. This guy is the coolest dude that I've met on my show so far. Just a wonderful cat. But before we go, we're going to do the winner. Okay, honey, roll it.
Okay.
And the winner is?
And the winner is... We have...
Oh, there it is.
Chet Z.
Chet Z. Let's go. You got 10 seconds, Chet. Get the Mr. Poseidon 10-second countdown. Can you put up the thing, honey, so we can see it?
Hold on.
Come on.
Where did he he go? Where is the
conversation? I don't know.
the chat? Where'd it go? You know, something's up. This keeps
No,
disappearing.
no. You made a mistake tonight, and it's your fault. Everything is your goddamn fault tonight. But anyway, we're not going to get into it on the air. No, seriously,
Restore
honey.
chat.
Where is Restore? There it is.
Oh,
All right, there we go. There he is. Is he out there or what? Chet Zing,
I'm
let's
waiting
go.
for the-
Thank
there
you.
he goes.
He's out there. I didn't even have to
Yeah.
start the countdown.
Thank goodness.
Chet Z, you just won a nice little package here. 3 Laws. Guys, thank you for coming to the show. Thank you again to Nick Honachefsky, great
Thank
fisherman,
you.
Jersey, all
Thanks,
over the
Nick, for
world. And make sure
coming
you watch the
on.
show. We're going to put that down on the
Yep.
on the bottom of the video.
Saltwaterunderground.com.
Absolutely. Mike Parrick, I see you, buddy. What's up, pal? Good to see you. All right, so guys, Outcast, I'll see you this week. I'll be in Montauk.
Thanks,
If you're going to be there, I'll
everybody.
see you.
Thanks again,
Thanks,
Nick.
everybody. Nick, thank you so
Thanks,
much,
guys.
brother. I'll see you
Good
again, and we'll
guys.
talk
Talk
up front.
soon. Talk
God bless you,
soon.
pal.
Good
Let's
night,
go. Let's
everybody.
go.
Woo!
Big Sis Wolf, I see you, honey.
Night. Bye, Nick.
Dead.